Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jeff from Today's Craftsman, and this week we're looking at a new tool in the shop. This was sent out to us by Garvee, and this is a mag drill. So if you don't know what a mag drill is, this is essentially a portable drill press. You see we have a quill here with a handle, and this has an electromagnet. So this is a 13,000 Newton electromagnet, which is actuated with this switch. So once you plug this in and flip this switch, this will stick down to any magnetic surface. Before we show you why I wanted this particular tool from Garvee, I want to show you what comes in the box when you purchase this. So this is the J1C40. It's a 1300 watt mag drill with the 13,000 pound or 13,000 Newton electromagnet, like I said. So you have your user manual. Obviously, you can just throw this out like I did. Have a couple extra brushes, which is nice. Have a couple Allen keys here, a couple drill bits, have the key for the chuck, and it also comes with, what do we have, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 of these core drills. Before we take a closer look at the tool, I'm going to show you what one of these annular cutters look like. So these are high-speed steel. It's essentially a hole saw for metal. Feel it's pretty sharp. So here you have your cutter, so 12 by 25, so you call it, ½ inch diameter by 1 inch long. And you have this center here, so this works by drilling a pilot hole, and then when you're plunging down, this will go inside of your pilot hole and make sure that this doesn't walk. So you can imagine that this isn't going to be the best plunging into a hard material, but if you have this center, it has nowhere to go. So your center will find itself, and then your annular cutter can cut in. And the last piece here is a safety strap. So let's say you're drilling the underside of a steel beam. You have this thing upside down over your head, and the power goes out. You don't want it to fall on your head, so you're going to want to strap it to the beam. So the drill probably weighs a solid 15 pounds. It's definitely heavy. And it retails for about 350 bucks, which is definitely less than a lot of the mag drills that I found online. So if you're looking to get into a mag drill that you're not going to use every day and you don't want to spend a lot, this is probably a good option. So I did use this already. I wanted to get accustomed to it, figure out how it worked. So I drilled a couple holes here in the shaper. And the reasoning behind having these holes is so that I can have an outboard fence, and I can have slotted holes in that fence, and I'll be able to move them back and forth. So what I want to do is drill a third hole here. So let's get this marked out, and we can show you how the drill works. I've laid out where I want my hole to be. So I connected my 2 points here and found center. And I'll just use a hardened center punch to punch that. And this I actually made with Austin at High Caliber Camp. We turned this on his lathe and hardened the tip. So this is my go-to center punch for metal. And cast iron is really pretty soft, so you can see I didn't hit that very hard, and we have a nice point. Now I can plug in the drill. Can put in my drill bit, so we're drilling for a 1/4-20. So I have a 13/64, which is the closest proper size drill bit I have. You have to reference the tapping chart to figure out what size drill bit you need. Technically it's a number 7. I'm not sure what that is, but this is apparently the closest one. So what we can do is pop this bit in, and I'll show you how I'm going to get lined up on this mark. So now that we have the drill bit into the drill, what I want to do is get this lined up before I turn the magnet on. So I'm going to lower the quill and get the center of my drill bit right on that point. Don't want to lift up the drill. So I know that I'm right now on the center. So now I'm going to turn the magnet on, and I can bring the quill back up. So we know when I come back down that I'm going to be right on that mark. I'm going to put a little drop of oil here for lubrication, and we can get to drilling. Maybe more than one drop. So we hit a rib because we're drilling dead center. So I got a nice deep hole there. These ones obviously not as deep because this top is skeletonized. It's just ribbed. So what I'm going to do before I move this, I'm going to vacuum up these chips so that they don't get stuck to the underside of the magnet. Next step would be to tap our hole, but before we do that, I want to show you the strength of this magnet. So we can turn this sideways here, kick it on. You can see stuck to the side of the shaper. This is another instance where you'd want to use your safety strap. You would put this through the handle and secure this to whatever you're drilling. We can take this off and we can get ready to tap this hole. Have everything I need here to tap this hole. So I have my tap and tap handle. This is a 1/4-20 tap. Have a little bit of oil. You should probably use tapping fluid. This isn't a metal shop, so we're not the most well-equipped in this arena. And we have a countersink here. This is a carbide countersink, so it will countersink this cast iron. But again, this is a woodworking tool. Not the proper tool, but it will get us by. So we'll countersink this first. So you see we have a nice little countersink there. That will help us get our tap started. So we're not trying to go into a flat hole. Okay, hit this with some oil and start to tap. So don't look to me for the ultimate tapping advice. I haven't done this a ton, but you want to get it started straight. And I know that you need to, you go forward a little bit, then you need to reverse to break your chip. Otherwise, you're going to break this tap in the hole, which you don't want to do because then you have to get it out. And again, this is cast iron, so we're not dealing with a very, very hard surface. But, I'm just waiting to feel a little bit of resistance and then back it up a couple turns. So tapping is just the act of cutting threads into your material where you drill the hole. Would make for great content if I broke this tap. All right, so we're plenty deep. Not going to be using extremely long bolts here. So you see how nice that runs now. Let me vacuum this out. I'll grab a 1/4-20 bolt and we can see how it works. There we go. Nice and solid. 1/4-20 tapped hole. Hopefully if you've never seen a mag drill before, you learned something today. It's a pretty cool tool. The electromagnet is very interesting and very powerful, so it's cool to see. Glad to have this in the shop. Thanks, Garvee, for sending it over, and there will be some information down in the description if you want to find it for yourself. So in the past, we've screwed our fences down to some oak strips that I bolted to the side of the shaper. This is going to be a huge improvement, and I'm thinking of other ways to use this in the shop. So if you have any questions about this tool or anything else, be sure to leave them down below, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, okay, I got it. Are you recording?
Yeah, that's going to be it. That's what I'm going to put up.
Thanks for watching. If you're still here, hope you'll hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and if you want to see more day-to-day content, check us out on Instagram at Today's Craftsman.